So for week 1 of EDAV 427, we watched a series of videos, 9 videos on the term new learning and what all that entails. And new learning is changes in technology, changes in society, and changes as a result of a human movement. That kind of is the fundamental things that shape what new learning is. And then they continue to talk about subcategories of that, and where it talked about teaching amongst new learning, and they talked about teaching as an art and a vocation and a science. And they discussed how teaching as an art was a way of relating to natural instincts that relate to others, and it's just you're easily able to connect with others through that. And then teaching as vocation, which means more so job related and one of set skill and just down to business. And then teaching as a science is looking at it from a point of research and evaluation. And then they went and talked about just key terms within new learning, and it talked about learning and how it's innate, and we all learn, we all do it, and learning is lifelong and life-wide, and we're never going to not stop learning. And then they talked about how training is a term we hear of a person becoming more familiar with a theory or a concept. And then it talked about how education is about a way of knowing and shaping the world, and becoming of the world as well. So education is more broad, but also I feel like a very more impactful in the way that we are all educated to some degree, and it's how we are going to take that education and put it into the world. And then they talked about ways of learning, of like formal versus informal, and how we're constantly learning, and like informal would be more so like life lessons that just happen, and then versus formal, which is a set education in schools. And then we talked about levels of education and like learning community, the curriculum, and pedagogy, and how that's a form of teaching, and then the subcategories of that. And it was just an interesting series of videos to watch, because all of new learning is related in some form of degree, and it's just like you have to diagnose that and get deeper to understand what that term really means.